Okay, hi everyone, we're back, and I'm going to do a game review today of my own game because it was recently played and also a very high rated game. So I'll show this one, and I'll also show another one after this that I lost. But let's go over the one that I won first. I'm blue, and the game is especially difficult as, well, red and yellow are 2400s, so have my work cut out for me as blue here. Okay, so this is a fairly standard approach where red is trying to bring out this queen, and you move the c-pawn, or in this case the 6th rank pawn, in order to put pressure on this pawn, and he responded in kind by blocking my queen's development. So since my queen cannot get out in that direction, I'll probably have to bring it out on the light squares, so I'll do this move next. And my cross opponent, played a little bit more aggressively here. The extra pawn push. It does help activate this bishop sooner in some cases, but it leaves the dark square diagonal open, so that's the disadvantage. Okay, and well, there's no mate threats just yet. Okay. And since this knight had no other squares to develop to, and it cannot be kicked anymore from this square, I decided to develop it here. And just bringing the queen out. Queen stands nicely on the square. I can also get the bishop going now. Okay. Alright, and we had a tactic here now. Obviously green is moving after yellow, and yellow did not stop this move from happening by moving his queen away. So now green will be attacking the rook and bishop, and I will be attacking the well, I could have attacked the queen, but actually I found it, oops, didn't mean to do that. I could have attacked the queen there, but I actually found a different move, which I thought was a little bit more active. And now the bishop has full scope for development, as well as there's pressure if yellow decides to take here. I decided red didn't have any good threats against me, at least not any super credible threats yet, so I decided to allow this. And since this is a renewable threat, like it's going to be there next turn, I decided to not immediately go for that, but to just move the knight away. Okay, and now develop the bishop. This diagonal is dangerous for red. Okay, and green still has a check that he can use on yellow at any time here. Okay, and I decided to start walking the king away to avoid the double queen attack. Checkmate. Okay, and now that the knight has moved away, the defense of this pawn is lower, and green should take the check. He does. And so I have a couple problems now. One problem is I'd like to start putting pressure on this queen, but then I will get attacked quite fiercely here by red, and I'll lose at least a rook, and I'll get checked for like 3 or 4 turns probably. Well, maybe not if I block the check with a knight, but still there would be more checks coming in quickly. So instead of that, I decided to make an interesting move, which was this. And this is a purely buy as much time as possible move. Now red can take this en passant. If red takes this en passant, I will ignore it and continue attacking yellow. Okay, so this move is purely to buy myself time to attack yellow and to slow down red's threats. Red could also just try to take this knight and start checking, but this bishop check would not have any follow-ups, and if you don't take en passant on the very first move, then you can never do it. So all of this would be blocked off then if red decides to take the knight. So I think it's a pretty nice creative defensive move, and I'm happy I came up with it. I'm not really worried about this knight, and I want to be able to recapture this knight if I need to. So this is sort of as fast of a move as I can do to get out of danger. Okay. And now, so red actually decided it wasn't even fast enough to take this knight. He wanted to start protecting yellow, and he's just going to leave it for now. So I took here, renewing the threat on this bishop. Okay, and I'm checked, but there's no follow-up possible from red, which is nice. Okay, so green activates his queen, also moving out of the danger. And now my knight's captured, but now I have the ability to capture this back and create a threat on this queen. So now both of these are in danger, and yellow decides to give up the queen. Now red could check here, and in fact he does. But then my recapture move is also a defensive move to protecting this pawn. And now, right, and now it's basically over. And notably, you don't want to check from here or check from here, or even here. Well, I guess here wouldn't work, but you don't want to check from here or here, because taking the bishop will gain you an extra 5 points, as well as keep your queen safe from green recapturing it for compensation. So this was huge that I was able to checkmate with an extra 5 points in hand and not lose the queen afterward. So looking at the position now that one player has been eliminated, this is the time when the game usually comes into a free-for-all. Let's see, green has the highest material, but I already have 38 points. So the next thing we have to look at is king safety. Green's king's not too undefended, but there is a weakness here right now, so I'll have to spend a move on that. And red's king is not unsafe. My king is well protected as well, and I'll have slightly easier access to developing rooks than my two opponents remaining, because this file is already open. So it's looking quite good at this point. And my defensive tools, like this move, giving up a knight for the attack, worked out quite well. Okay, and then green also missed this defense. So I didn't really have a super good way to punish that because this queen was protected. And while red might keep checking, you never know. Sometimes you take that and then, or sometimes you move to attack the queen and then red just won't check and you have to move away. So I decided to start developing instead. And red took a rook. I set up for attacking green as well here. I don't think I should have checked here actually. I think because if I moved somewhere else, green would take this knight for me anyway. But either it's red taking green pieces or green taking red's pieces at this point, and I decided it would be better just to let red take green's pieces. Now they could have allied as well, and in fact red probably should have just started taking my pieces because I'm the point leader But he did see that there was a tactic to take this queen, so he would rather have the queen at this point. But then the knight was able to block. And then I checked. So ultimately there, red got scammed a little bit because blue resigned and did not give the queen at that moment. So right now red is behind in points by a lot. And if we just took a look at the endgame position, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pawns. Though they're a little bit harder to promote because of this block and this block on my pawns. Red is also blocked by this queen, but this pawn's pretty free to run. And my queen's a little bit out of play here. So I don't think I played perfectly so far. I was a little bit disappointed with my play after the elimination of yellow. But I felt I had a pretty good chance here. And of course I can't resign yet because this king is still worth 20. So if I just try to claim win, then, and by resigning, then I will lose. So I can't give red 40 points. And yeah, as you can see, this red pawn is pretty quick. And so I have to deal with the fact that red just got a queen. And even the last few moves, I was trying to stop it, but I should have just realized from the start that I wasn't going to be able to stop it and tried to develop a little faster. And now, so red is attacking this pawn, which is backward now. I don't really agree with this either, because I don't think I would have had the resources to checkmate, but now red gave away a queen in order to checkmate. So actually I'm feeling pretty good about this now. I don't have the 40-point lead yet. And then I did miss a move here as well. I should have just taken this knight right away, but what I did. Oh, I did take the knight right away, but I shouldn't have allowed this because now I can't move the queen away because I'll lose the rook with check. So I had to trade queens here, and still red's pawns are a little bit faster to promote. And my rook is not as easy to get into the game. So I had to try some stuff here. Try and stop the promotions. And I think at this point, you know, with red only 10 points behind, I actually was at a disadvantage, but then he did miss this pawn, this pawn being unprotected in the endgame. So, so I was able to win 2 pawns there, and after this, it was sort of a mop-up. And after I promoted that pawn, then red resigned. So it was a good game. But I think red played a little bit under his rating, especially in the 1v1 in the end. But the move I was most proud of this game was the defensive pawn push there. So I'll try to keep that one in mind for my future games. Now that I found it once, I should be able to find it again. All right, so that pretty much concludes this game. It was a nice one. Let me know what you think in the comments. If there were any better moves I could have played, especially I guess once we got to the immediate 3-person situation, and then once we got to the immediate 2-person situation, I wasted some time trying to stop this promotion, which was ineffective. I should have just been pushing my own pawns, I believe. But it did all work out in the end, so that's good. And it was worth 25 points, so that's good. All right. Yep, I think I'll end it there, and let me know what you think in the comments.